Sunday Live with Jeff Koinange and Olive Barrows.
And a very happy Mashujaa Day to all our viewers around the country, around the region, and around the world.
Do you feel a little underdressed? I'm feeling underdressed.
Why is that?
Did you see Rashid and Lulu at 7?
Goodness.
With the genie, with what is it? The lamp, the genie's lamp behind them.
How do you match that?
So beautiful.
We should get our own genie lamp.
And the lights.
We should get our own genie lamp.
Next time we should go.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Lakini hatutaweza hiyo lugha.
Tunaweza ng'ang'ana. Tunaweza ng'ang'ana.
We have a great show for you today on this Mashujaa Day.
Yep.
Start tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Barrows at Citizen TV Kenya.
The hashtag is
Sunday Live.
Sunday Live begins right now. Tonight.
I asked President William Ruto, my brother, I helped you to be president. Leave me alone. Leave my children alone.
They want me dead. Impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua claims he survived 2 assassination attempts and appeals to President Ruto to spare him.
Deputy free celebrations. Kindiki Mudavadi share roles as the country marks the first national holiday without a deputy president.
Uhuru Park FET blocked. Several activists arrested as police used tear gas to disperse a parallel Mashujaa Day celebration at Uhuru Park.
Cry for justice. Body of missing Wajir MCA Yusuf Ahmed found dumped in a water pond in Wajir.
And welcome to the broadcast once again. Happy Mashujaa Day to all our viewers. Now, we begin on the steps of Karen Hospital, the scene of some alarming remarks by impeached Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, who now claims he has survived some attempts on his life by state agents.
Gachagua, who was discharged from hospital Sunday afternoon, launched a fiery attack on President William Ruto, describing him as a vicious man out to finish him and his family.
Now, the impeached deputy president told reporters that his food was poisoned and his room bugged with devices during the recent tour of Nyanza by President William Ruto.
Gachagua says his impeachment was part of a plot by President Ruto to remove him, claiming the president only used him to ascend to power.
Citizen TV's Seth Alali was in Karen Hospital when the impeached deputy president was discharged. Take a listen.
Looking seemingly frail, Rigathi Gachagua emerged from hospital, accompanied by his wife Dorcas and his allies. This was the first time impeached DP Gachagua was seen in public after being taken ill moments before his scheduled cross-examination during his impeachment trial at the Senate. The embattled DP, who emerged without bodyguards, revealed of 2 failed assassination attempts prior to his impeachment.
Undercover security agents entered my room in Kisumu and bagged it, and one of them tried to poison my food. In Nyeri, another team from the National Intelligence Service came to Nyeri and tried to poison food that was meant for me and Kikuyu Council of Elders.
The impeached DP, who claims all his security details have been withdrawn, says his life and that of his family are in danger, and that President William Ruto should be held responsible if anything happens to them.
And if anything happens to me or my family, President William Ruto must be held to account. Do whatever you want, but let me live. Let me look after my children. You can do whatever you want with the country, but allow me to live.
Terming President Ruto as vicious, The embattled impeached deputy president accused the head of state of being directly behind his predicament.
Especially now when I'm in hospital, crippling me, treating me like an animal. I think he wanted to take me the Matiba route. But God is gracious. It didn't happen that way. I hear many of his people are calling here asking whether I'm dead, whether I'll survive, whether I'll recover. They were celebrating.
Gachagua revealing how he narrowly escaped death moments before he was about to take to the witness stand during his impeachment trial at the Senate.
After I stabilized, he did tell me that had I been late for another 20 minutes, we'll be talking a different story today.
Having wished Kenyans a happy Mashujaa Day earlier through social media, Gachagua revealed of a well-calculated scheme that prevented him from attending the national celebrations in Kwale.
Wilson Airport were told that I should not go through Wilson Airport. All owners of helicopters were told that I should not be allowed to use any of them to go to Kwale.
In faulting Senate's impeachment proceedings against him, Gachagua stated that he is still the official deputy president following issuance of conservatory orders stopping his replacement by the High Court.
Why is a job that was prescribed by the framers of the Constitution to be done within 74 days is being done in half a day? You must ask yourself that question. I think it's being hurried to circumvent justice to avoid the courts of law from interrogating this matter and making a decision.
Gachagua terming his apparent successor as a control freak ready for manipulation by his master.
Get rid of an elected deputy president and appoint a control freak. A fellow you appoint who cannot ask a question, who cannot say anything. And I'm sure if they succeed, he'll be asked to sign an undated resignation letter so that in case he starts asking questions, he can just be told to resign.
The embattled impeached deputy president stating that he is being sacrificed because of his opposition on increased taxation, SHIF, and Adani takeover, among other issues affecting Wanjiku.
Don't evict people without compensation, Mr. President. Mr. President, don't overtax people. You are killing them. You are killing their businesses.
Unlike his routine motorcade display, complete with outriders, Gachagua's departure from hospital saw him only flanked by his wife and son. Even as he embarks on his health recovery journey after being admitted here at this medical facility, Rigathi Gachagua maintains that he is still the rightfully elected deputy president. He has vowed to take on his political nemesis by fronting a legal battle in court. Seth Olale, Citizen TV at the Karen Hospital, Nairobi County.
Meanwhile, in Kwale, President William Ruto avoided a direct mention of the controversy dogging his administration, but called on leaders to emulate independence struggle heroes who he said never advanced regional causes.
That's right. Now, the protocol gap, which was brought about by the current status of the occupancy of the office of the Deputy President, was apparent at the Kwale Stadium, where Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi played the role of inviting the president to speak, while the nominee for Deputy President Kithure Kindiki had earlier received the president when he landed in the coastal county in a military helicopter.
Citizen TV's Emmanuel To was on the protocol watch in Kwale.
It was at first unclear as to who was to introduce the president to make his 61st Mashujaa Day speech in Kwale County. The official program having only 2 speakers. the governor of Kwale County, Fatuma Achani, and President William Ruto.
Pokea shukran nyingi kutoka kwa Wakwale.
The MC having to introduce the Prime CS Musalia Mudavadi to bridge the gap after slight confusion on passing on of the baton.
Hizi institutions zetu zote zimeonyesha kwamba demokrasia ni kitu cha muhimu na wamepata changamoto nyingi, lakini kupitia kwa sheria ya kitaifa na kulingana na katiba yetu tumedhibitisha kwamba hivi vitengo ama hizi taasisi zinafanya kazi.
In the end, having to play the role of the DP.
Tuinuke na tumkaribishe Rais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya kwa shangwe.
However, even with the absence of a substantive deputy president, there seemed to be one, or at least one waiting to be the one.
How are you?
DP nominee Professor Kithure Kindiki had first received President Ruto at the Kwale County Commissioner's office. His arrival at the Kwale Stadium marked with an aura of a man who was slightly above the other CSs and slightly below the head of state. His car, unlike the rest carrying high-profile individuals, including CSs and governors, allowed into the restricted VIP area under heavy security. The car did not have a flag, perhaps the hallmark and the epitome of the current political situation. Standing next to the First Lady, the position formerly occupied by the now impeached DP Rigathi Gachagua. And for the first time since his now impeached DP was removed from office, President Ruto aimed thinly veiled jabs at Gachagua for advancing regional politics, taking him down the memory lane on what real heroes did back then.
In confronting colonialism, Mekatilili Wamenza did not seek to free her village or region from occupation by a community. Instead, she resisted the structures and institutions of a system of exploitation and tyranny in the knowledge that defeating it would free a whole nation.
The head of state saying nobody would be denied their right for development because of their political choices or regions.
Any formula seeking to exclude, alienate, or disenfranchise any person, group of community for any reason is repugnant to the very essence of our nationhood.
Among the 5 grounds that led to his fall in parliament was Gachagua's shareholding narrative that rubbed many the wrong way. Mekatilili Wamenza, born in the Mutara Watsatsu, Ganze village, Kilifi County in the 1840s, was the Kenyan independent activist who led the Giriama people against the colonial administration of Kenya. And after the event, the same script was followed. He left immediately after his boss. Once again, according to protocol, this is a preserve of the DP. And back at the county commissioner's office for the state luncheon, he walked side by side with Ruto, just like Gachagua did during his heydays.
From Nairobi to Kwale, the struggle continues as the country continues to operate without a substantive deputy president, days after one was ousted and another one nominated to take his place, and putting the country in a state of disarray. Emmanuel Toa, Citizen TV, Kwale Stadium, Mashujaa constituency in Kwale County.
At the same time, President William Ruto has called on private hospitals, which are yet to finalize enrollment with the Social Health Authority, that is SHA, to expedite the process in order to boost the country's plans to attain universal health coverage.
In his Mashujaa Day speech, the head of state confirmed that all public hospitals had been enrolled along with 50% of private medical facilities.
And as Serafina Chieng Ouma now reports, approximately 12.9 million Kenyans have registered with the Social Health Authority so far. Take a listen.
The 61st Mashujaa Day celebrations came barely 3 weeks since the countrywide rollout of the Social Health Authority. And since the rollout, there has been a great hue and cry about the new system of healthcare provision, especially among hundreds of patients who could not access services due to hiccups occasioned by the transition. Speaking in Kwale County, President William Ruto was futuristic and optimistic about the transition.
The value for money in this scheme will be undeniable once the migration from the National Health Insurance Fund is completed and the fund is fully operational. I call on all Kenyans to have faith and a little patience.
President Ruto was categorical that the universal health coverage dream cannot be delayed, urging all Kenyans and private medical facilities which are yet to be enrolled to come on board.
As of the beginning of this month, 12.9 million Kenyans were registered with the Social Health Authority, and all public health institutions, and alongside 50% of private facilities, were already enrolled to provide services. I urge private hospitals to expedite the contracting process to enable us complete the final rollout of the universal health coverage. To accelerate this rollout, the government of Kenya has released 3 billion shillings to settle outstanding payments to hospitals and other service providers.
The head of state affirming that the implementation of the all-inclusive social health framework will not happen at the expense of employees of the former National Hospital Insurance Fund.
I want to assure all the former employees and those now serving under our new outfit that no one will lose their jobs.
President Ruto also termed the capacity upgrades and the establishment of the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency regional distribution centers in Kisumu, Embakasi and Mombasa as a strategic effort to improve the overall medical supply chain. Safin Acheng Omar, Citizen TV.
There's more to come. Lulu has that report for us.
Oh, can't wait.
Before then, the contentious affordable housing project was the central theme of this year's Mashujaa Day celebration, with President William Ruto urging Kenyans to embrace the program.
That's right. Now, the head of state told Kwale residents that the project will also benefit rural counties where the majority of its population is moving to urban settlements. Our very own Stephen Ito. There's more.
President William Ruto was ushered into the Kwale Stadium with decorations of Boma Yangu loosely translated as My Home in what was the dominant theme of this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations.
Pongezi kwake raisi kuleta mradi huu. Hizi nyumba sio ghali, bei zake si za juu. Hata asiye na mali ameipata nafuu.
A skit that was performed as part of the entertainment depicted the journey from a grass-thatched house to a modern home, a presentation that formed part of the icing of President Ruto's Mashujaa Day speech.
Boma Yangu, a key platform in the program, exemplifies our commitment to economic empowerment and improving Kenya's quality of life. This online portal aggregates housing demand with over 547 registered users, of whom 52,000 have collectively saved more than 2.3 billion towards home ownership.
The president had just overseen the handing over of a multi-million shillings check to Kibra Juakali artisans to help in production of doors, windows and other materials for the affordable housing project.
Kenya was awarded the Country Housing Program of the Year 2024 edition to recognize its comprehensive affordable housing program that delivers decent, dignified, sustainable and affordable homes.
Your Excellency, tunataka tushukuru pia for the partnership in a number of projects within the county. Ya kwanza ikiwemo project ya KIPES ambayo iko Mwananyamala na stimulus market program ambayo tayari ulianzisha pale Diani.
In December this year, just a few months from now, we will achieve a major milestone by handing over 1,080 new studio units at the Mukuru Meteorological Site in Nairobi, with mortgages priced at $3,200 per month.
The project, being President Ruto's administration pillar, has seen the employment of thousands of youth, with 75 sites reportedly active across the country.
So far, the affordable housing program has created over 160,000 jobs throughout the housing value chain. While the industry remains predominantly male, we are working to increase female participation to 30%, up from the current 20%. Our collaboration with the Jua Kali sector has demonstrated the affordable housing program's significant potential to transform local manufacturing.
In giving a 2-year scorecard into his administration, President William Ruto says his government will inject more time and resources into the affordable housing scheme to ensure a dignified living for Kenyans, as well as provide thousands of youth jobs who are jobless. Stephen Leto, Citizen TV, Kwale Stadium, Matuga constituency, Kwale County.
Last night, Stephen baptized me Olive Fatma Barros. I'm still consulting as to what his middle name will now be.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll consult with Rashid.
Yeah, but why
and get back
Fatma?
To
you. Okay.
You mean with a PHAT, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Still on Mashujaa celebrations, but elsewhere, several activists who had planned a parallel Mashujaa Day celebration at Uhuru Park in Nairobi to commemorate those who died during the Gen Z protests were arrested today as police used tear gas canisters to disperse the gathering.
Police cordoned off the park entrance since morning, preventing hundreds who had planned to light candles in honor of the victims of police brutality. Emily Chebet reports.
Running battles between police and the youth who had planned a parallel Mashujaa Day at Uhuru Park, Nairobi. Police officers who had blocked the park since morning, using tear gas canisters to stop the protesters from accessing the park to commemorate 10 who died during the anti-government protests.
Young people have died, over 61 of them. Kware, young women were butchered, and we have no answers. And this government continues to act as if they do not know that these young people exist and they lived.
This country is about the people, and sovereign power belongs to the people. And therefore today we sit here, and it is symbolic. It is symbolic, and we remember those that fought before us, and we celebrate the Shujaas, the 61 plus that are dead.
Freedom is a sacred right.
The activists have condemned the use of force by police to scuttle their planned remembrance event, saying the park is a public place.
We came in the morning, I came with my kids and my wife in the morning, tukafukuzwa na polisi. Na venye niliondoka hapo, wale ambao walinifuata baadaye, Eric Omondi, Hussein Halid and many others came to the park na wakashikwa. Kuna kijana aitwa Hesbon Baraza kwa hospitali sahi kwa Kenyatta Hospital, amepigwa risasi na polisi. And you are asking the government and the president, why are you killing young people? Hakukuwa na fujo, it's a park.
We will not forget the 61. There are families that have not been compensated to date. There are families that have not been supported to date. And it has not even been discussed in parliament. We are still concerned about the politics of this country while the people of this country are dying.
The Nairobi County government had also warned the organizers of the event that Uhuru Park remains open to the public daily and can be booked for events but would be reserved for exclusive use during public holidays.
Nobody is being arrested by the county government. If you are peaceful, you will have access to the park. Go enjoy with your family. And on a public holiday, events are not held in the park. During a public holiday.
The activists also questioned the nomination of Professor Kithure Kindiki as deputy president, saying they need answers on the killings. Emily Chebet, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
Yeah, what a shame, huh?
Yeah, I didn't know lighting candles was viewed as a violent event.
You know? Oh, well.
Nyeri County recorded a low turnout in this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations held at the Kamkunji Stadium, with the county's political leadership also skipping the event.
That's right, and as our very own Kamau Mwangi reports, some of the few residents that attended the event started walking out immediately the president's speech started being read. Take a listen.
These were the scenes at Kamkunji Stadium, Nyeri. This stadium, which under normal circumstances would have at least been at half capacity, recorded low turnout. The impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, the son from the county, seemed to have rubbed them the wrong way, with many choosing to keep off the celebrations and only leaving a handful to attend.
Shujaa wangu ni Rigathi Gachagua, na sina aibu kusema hivyo, manake ametupigania na jamii ya Wakikuyu amewapigania, si ukabila. Hakuna mtu ambaye hana kabila yake.
The reason why watu hawakuweza kutokea ni ya kwamba hizi siasa ambazo zimekuwa zikiendelea za kumpandua Gachagua uongozini ndio zimechangia sana. Kwa hivyo kama watu wa Nyeri wako na machungu sana.
Their quest to understand what was going on in the political sphere further dampened by the absence of any of the county's political leadership, as all of them chose to stay away.
Tunafiru vibaya sana kuona viongozi wenyewe ndio wanajiweka kwa mifukoni yao, lakini hii mambo inaendelea. Sisi tuko na machungu sana kuliko Gachagua wetu wanapigwa ni wenye viongozi.
Tunatarajia na wao siku hiyo ingine ya tarehe 12 mwezi wa Disemba watakuja, ndio na wao wawe wakisema maneno yetu.
Those that were in attendance also expressed their anger in a different way. A section staging a walkout as soon as the head of state's speech got underway.
Mtu yote machua mwenye akona akili timamu, sidhani kuna mtu agedha kushughulika juu hakuna chochote za kucelebrate. Kwa hiyo celebrations ilikuwa za leo.
Kamau Mwangi, Citizen TV, Kamkunji Stadium in Nyeri.
All right, back to the coast, and the coastal county of Kwale came alive as it hosted the country's 61st Mashujaa Day celebrations.
Thousands of the county residents who jammed the newly built stadium in Mashujaa were treated to taarab melodies from local artists. Lulu Hassan has the details.
The remote constituency of Mashujaa, where Kwale Stadium sits, was brought to life. As the national government and the county of Kwale staged an electrifying celebrations to honor the country's heroes. As Kwale residents danced to the melodious tunes of taarab in their respective dances, the convoy of President William Ruto made its way in military precision. The presidential motorcade was ushered into the newly built Kwale Stadium by cheers of Kwale residents who for the first time hosted the national fete. Colonel Lieutenant Faith Mwagandi wowed the hearts of many by taking up the parade commander role, a role always taken up by the male generals. As if that was not enough, Kwale Stadium went into a frenzy with music and dance. As the Mijikenda women twisted their waists the best way they know how. President Ruto was also not left out as he woke up to take up the Anguka Nayo challenge. As the Kwale Stadium broke into laughter. Lulu Hassan for Citizen Weekend.
Anguka Nayo.
I feel like it's been appropriated by the state.
Maybe he needs some lessons in that, thing. Yeah.
But the tarab was good.
Tarab was very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Carry on. Is it my turn?
No, I'll go.
Okay.
Juja Deputy County Commissioner Charles Mureithi faced a hostile crowd during this year's Mashujaa Day celebrations in Matangini, Thika. He was delivering the president's speech.
That's right. Now, a section of residents walked out of the venue when the National Government Administration officer rose to deliver this president's speech.
And in Kericho County, Governor Eric Mutai, who survived impeachment last week, asked for forgiveness from members of the county assembly.
That's right. Our very own Marianne Nyambura is on the Mashujaa Celebrations County Roundup. Take a listen.
Tafadhali, mnaweza kaeni chini.
This year's Mashujaa Day celebrations at Matangini in Juja, Thika turned chaotic towards the last minute when Juja Deputy County Commissioner Charles Mureithi took to the podium to read President William Ruto's speech. One after the other, the residents walked out of the grounds, while some booed the Deputy County Commissioner.
Community elder workers.
The Deputy County Commissioner braved the hostility and read the speech.
Ile sababu imefanya tusisikize hii hotuba ya our President Ruto ni vile tulimwachagua tukiwa na roho kubwa na watu Kikuyu tukajitokeza kwa njia kubwa, na tunaona ni Kikuyu tulikuwa watu wengi tukajitokeza ndio tuwachague. Ile shida imetupata ni kuona our Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua hakuna mwenye anamrecognize.
In Kericho County, politics over the impeachment attempt on Governor Eric Mutai dominated the Mashujaa celebrations. Governor Mutai, who led the feat days after he survived his ouster, called on members of the county assembly to join hands with the executive and deliver services to Kericho residents.
Vile MCS wetu nataka niwaombe nyinyi msamaha. Vile to my 31 MCS, as the father of this county, a seat given by the Lord, not by my effort, I invite you that we also work together. I extend my hand of love to you as brothers and sisters.
Put your house in order. Ili tupate kuwa na county ambaye iko na umoja, tuketi pamoja na tuongee pamoja. Your Excellency, Bwana Governor, call us. Sisi tuko tayari kwa sababu tukiwa viongozi.
A low turnout was witnessed during the Mashujaa Day celebrations in various counties. In Makueni County, Governor Mutula Kilonzo promising to deliver on the health sector.
We'll ensure that every resident in Makueni has access to comprehensive coverage.
Similar celebrations were held in Machakos, Mandera, Garissa, Nyamira, and Busia counties, where calls were made to residents to support the affordable housing project.
Ask the CS, the new CS for energy, if Kenya Power and Lighting will not going to provide those maintenance services, we'll go there, do fundraising and take over those stations.
Tayari tuko karibu kumaliza hii manyumba ya affordable housing. Tuko na units 222 hapa Machakos na tumefika karibu 70%.
Ile vita tuko nayo saa hii ya kujikomboa na ule ushujaa tuko nao saa hii ni wa kuimarisha nchi yetu kiuchumi, kimaendeleo, kiteknolojia ili tuweze kufikia viwango vingine.
Marianne Nyambura, Citizen TV.
All right, that just about does it for Mashujaa Day celebrations around the country. We're going to take a first break here on Sunday Live. Let you know there's plenty more ahead.
Yep, the X handles are at O Burrows,
At Kunanga Jeff,
at Citizen TV Kenya.
Hashtag is
Sunday Live.
Sunday Live takes a break. We'll be back. It's exactly 49 minutes past the hour. Welcome back to Sunday Live on this Mashujaa Day here at Citizen Television. Now, detectives in Thika West Police Station in Kiambu County are tonight burning the midnight oil to unravel the tragic murder of a 23-year-old university graduate.
The deceased, Seth Nyakio Njeri, went missing after she had left her parents' home in Kamakis, only for her body to be discovered at a rented house within Biafra, Thika, on Monday.
Now, the body had visible injuries of strangulation. And as our crimes reporter Franklin Waller reports, detectives say the assailant sexually abused the girl before committing the heinous act.
The killing of 23-year-old Seth Nyakio Njeri is the latest brutal manifestation of extreme violence against women in the country. Seth was killed on Monday and her body discovered at a rented house in Biafra, Thika. A distraught mother says the ZTech graduate left their home in Kamakis on Saturday a jovial soul. The two talked until Sunday, but thereafter efforts to reach her daughter has been futile. Her calls and text messages went unanswered, and this got the parent disturbed. A search was mounted without success. Monday morning, the family received a strange phone call from a friend. The caller on the other side notified them Seth had been killed. Police were notified only to find a naked, lifeless body of the young girl lying on the bed in the house.
I saw visible injuries this side and this side.
Preliminary investigation revealing she had been strangled. Police say the assailant sexually abused the deceased before committing the heinous act.
I found my daughter. My daughter lied peacefully, a good soul. You could even think we are talking to each other because the body was too, the spirit had not departed away from me, in the body and the friendship. And she was the one.
Investigators have zeroed in on a male friend who was aggrieved after the two separated. It is suspected that the boyfriend got wind of the whereabouts of the girl, seduced her and ended up killing her. A theory says parents dismissed, alleging the friend Seth was visiting has information of what might have transpired.
It was murder and so many other shocking things that no parent, no woman or nobody would have liked to have passed the pain and the trauma my daughter has died with. And also the trauma and the pain and the shock I have been left with.
Detectives have recorded statements from the female friend Seth had visited.
I loved her so much. For now, I don't have any child. I had only her.
Franklin Wala, Citizen TV.
Such a sad story. Huh?
Mother's pain.
Good Lord.
Tragic. The Nairobi County government has announced plans to fast-track the completion of construction of a new wing at Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital to address the crisis occasioned by an influx of patients at the facility.
Now, while admitting the bed capacity challenges at the facility, Health and Nutrition CEC Suzanne Silanton has attributed the increased traffic of patients to what she described as the improved service delivery at the facility, which she says currently serves about 4,000 patients a day.
The commitment coming following a story that was done by Citizen TV, revealing the agony of mothers with newborn babies struggling to find space in the overcrowded maternity ward.
In a heartbreaking story done by Citizen Television, mothers with newborn babies could be seen struggling to find space in the overwhelmingly overcrowded maternity wards at Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. Images shown up to 4 mothers sharing one bed and some sleeping with their babies on the floor without proper beddings. Speaking during a tour of the facility to assess the crisis, Health and Nutrition CEC Susan Silantoy confirmed that the facility, which has a bed capacity of 324, serves about 4,000 patients a day, admitting the challenge in the maternity wing, which currently has a population of 100 patients against a bed capacity of 56.
There are some incidents where we share beds. We're a public facility, and so we cannot deny anybody services. And so whenever the mothers come, despite the capacity gaps that we have, we still give them treatment. And this facility has done extremely well. This last year, we've not had a single maternal death.
This is a month for deliveries. So we are expecting that we are going to be delivering not less than 70 mothers at every single day. And as it has been indicated, this being a public hospital, you cannot turn away mothers. One thing that we have done is we have increased the number of our doctors. Right now we have 12 gynecologists, we have 300 nurses, and that's why even if the capacity increases, we are quite sure that every mother who comes here is in safe hands.
The county government plans to fast-track the completion of construction of a new wing at the medical facility to address the patient population crisis.
We receive quite a number of patients here on a daily basis, but we're expanding. There's a building that is just on my left that was started by NMS, and in the process of retendering it so that we can complete it. Once that is completed, the issue of capacity within Mama Lucy Hospital will be sorted.
So in as much as we are increasing our capacity slowly, we've made sure that our services are top-notch. And in fact, people come here because we've given better services.
In the meantime, the county government has announced the upgrading of lower-level health facilities to help ease the pressure on Level 5 hospitals, such as Mama Lucy Kibaki Hospital. Safin Acheng Oma, Citizen TV.
Another sad story there, huh?
Unacceptable.
Goodness. Now, same time, hundreds of residents of Mombasa turned up for this year's Walk for Freedom to create awareness against human trafficking, modern slavery, and sexual exploitation.
Speaking after the walk, participants say an estimated 30,000 people from Mombasa, Kilifi, and Kwale are said to be trafficked out, a majority being women and children who are exploited for forced labor and sexual trafficking.
That's right. Edward Monene from International Christian Center has called on the government and tourism stakeholders to partner and address the rampant cases of human trafficking in the coast region.
And so we are fighting the non-genuine by simply saying, do not allow yourself to be trafficked. If you arrive in a country and you find that your passport is being asked for, you need to, at that point in time, seek to get out. And in our country, ensure that the agencies that we use, if you're looking for a job outside the country, is reputable and they give you clear information, not vague information, clear information.
Hoteliers to tourists to visit our land, you are on the forefront to get note of such things. And I am urging you, let's work together because our children are suffering. We are losing the next generation. Our young men and women are being trafficked out of this coastal region. And you are on the front line. When people come to the beach, when someone is hanging out with someone or a boy or a child that you are curious about, just point it out and let's report.